The 2025 Volvo EX30 was a hotly anticipated compact SUV, and we've had it in our hands for the entire week. It did not disappoint one little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, maybe one little thing.
It drives great. We have a lot to talk about with this. It is just such an attention getter though in this moss yellow. We can't wait to share all of the details about it coming right up.
So let's go. This video is sponsored by EV Vita, creators of mods and accessories for all EVs and exclusive resellers of best EV mod accessories with direct customer support.
With EV Vita, it doesn't just end when you get their products. They have lots of tutorials. They're very quick to answer questions. We have their products in our Mach-E and our Equinox, and we're really proud to have them as a sponsor.
If you are one of our patrons or members, then you would have seen this already because we're starting this new little thing where as soon as we get a press vehicle, we're going to try put out a video for our patrons and members. So it's really interesting. We've already filmed and released something with this.
Yeah, this is a whole new experience, but we want to tell you all about this one because now we've had it for a few days so that we've got to experience the software quirks, but also the great driving dynamics. So there's a lot to talk about with this. First of all, we'll give you a little bit about the specs. It's about 48,000. Liv mentioned it's the dual motor, so it does 0 to 60 in about 3.4 seconds. I think it has a 69 kilowatt hour battery, charges 10 to 80 in about 26 minutes. Part of that is how small that battery is, but it still has 253 miles of range. 0 to 60 at 3.4 is the one big stat for me. And it has 422 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque. So it is, for me, the hot hatch of EVs that I've been looking for. But part of that starts off with like the size of it. So let's grab the camera. We're going to take a little bit of a visual tour and show you what we like about this little hot hatch Volvo EX30. By the way, I'm Patrick.
I'm Liv.
And right now we're the Mach-E vlog. More to come on that later, but let's take a visual tour of this. So I'm gonna grab the camera.
So like I mentioned before, we already filmed our first impression. So if you want access to that, you can join our Patreon or our YouTube members. But this is our impression of spending a week with this baby, and I don't want to let it go. For sure, I do not want to let it go. Aesthetically, number one, this is one of my favorite looking vehicles out there. Everything about it is just beautifully done. Volvo has a super sharp, clean design language. Some of that, of course, we can see on the front fascia. You have your very Volvo Thor's Hammer headlights with these sort of broken up aesthetic, which looks so good against the really clean moss yellow front, the Volvo logo and everything, and just like the little curves, the lines. I absolutely love the way that all of this comes together. And the curves echoed on the side here, like the way that they do that rounded rectangle thing is the same as on the hood. And I love like the tangible door handles. The car's locked, it's fine. Side note, and this is potentially just because we are using a press vehicle, but like I cannot unlock this side with the key card, which is how we get in. We have to do it on the other side.
Yeah, we don't have the phone as the key type stuff set up.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty easy to get in, only on the driver's side.
Yeah, only on the driver's side. But I love, like, I'm using one finger. If you don't know, I have dexterity difficulties with my left hand, so it's hard to use a lot of the fingers on my hands. So anything that's just easy to use with one finger, and a lot about the way that Volvo designs things is really considerate and well considered. If we look at the angles of this from the side, you have the piano black, which is now I apologize because we've been using and loving this for a week, so it's not as clean as we would love. We have tried to clean it multiple times, but I don't know if you can see that the piano black is actually sparkly.
It has some sparkly. It has glitter in it,
which is really, really cool and like a fun touch. We have the EX30 logo over there, but I love that the piano black creates like lines and curvature where it isn't really. Obviously, that's something we see on the Mach-E. We see it on lots of other vehicles, but you're looking at the wheels, Patrick?
Yeah. No, it's like, because that's something that we ran into a gentleman yesterday that had a Volvo as well, and he was like surprised at how big the wheels are for the car. And I'm like, they're really not that big, I don't think. They are 19-inch wheels. I do like this wheel. It is not like a cheap plasticky hubcap. If you,
it does sound.
Oh, that's plastic. Oh, that's metal. Of course, that's the plastic insert that you could potentially pop out. So, anyways,
come on back over here, because remember I mentioned the headlights and how they were sort of like broken up as Patrick falls off the curb. That design language is carried through to the rear tail lights, and I love how it's above and below. So there's a lot of visibility in traffic. People can see you stopping, and it's just a really cool aesthetic all together with this bright color. I know. You can get black, white, gray. I think there's like a light blue.
It does look really good in white, like this little bit of the Stormtrooper look that I saw somebody have.
It does, but I am partial to the moss yellow. Now, we're just going to show you how to open this up. I think it's locked, so we can't open it.
It might be locked. I might need it. There we go.
There we go. So that is where the opening button is hidden. But here we have a little bit of our filming equipment. I didn't even know what was back here, but I think you can see that it's kind of a smaller trunk. It's not insanely small. It's certainly not insanely small, but it's not big. And let's see if I can open this and show you. There's quite a nice chunk of space underneath. So you have your portable charging cable, as well as anything else you might need, because there's actually quite a nice chunk of room. Let me not hide the cameras down there. But then we have a, I don't know, 2/3 split. So you can fold down the seats. It's funny, I've developed a preference now for like how you split the seats. Like I like it when you can drop down the middle. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And generally, like I've seen the 2/3 is on a smaller car.
On a smaller vehicle, yeah. Yeah, so I know that's a weird thing to have a preference for, but let's shut that.
And duck out of the way.
Yeah, and hide.
I'm gonna hand the camera to you. We'll walk around. We don't need to do too much with the exterior, because you guys can look at photos yourself, but I am going to pop the hood so that we can see the front. And there isn't much of a front, but there is just a little cubby under here. First of all, it's covered by this plastic here to keep some of the dust out, because like you will get dust underneath the hood. But here it is, like just a little area. You probably could fit maybe like your adapters, if you need any adapters, or potentially a small portable charger, depending on the size and how big the cable is. But it would still be fairly tight under here. But
I wish there was a drain, because that would be really fun for like a little bit of ice and a couple sodas. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just like the Mach-E, like put a drain in there.
Just testing and seeing the heat there. Yeah, a lot of times underneath, it does get warm underneath, even though it is a gas engine, there's still a lot of heat. There is some little graphics, and I forgot.
We forgot the graphics on the trunk.
We got to walk around quickly and show you the graphics in the back.
And now a little Easter egg. These graphics are actually hidden somewhere else in the vehicle. I found one of them, so we're going to show that to you when we hop inside. But I think that's pretty fun. And wow, the car
turned on.
Yeah, it turned on.
So the AC is running. I want to snap that close, and then yeah, let's go around back real quick before
show you the trunk graphic
before we hop inside, because this is just, you know, some of those little details that I think are really neat. Even though it doesn't cost them anything, it just adds to it. So it's sort of like, will it fit? And they're showing you like this will all fit in there, but the main thing is like the dimensions. So like if you know that you're picking up a TV that's 57 inches, it should be able to fit behind the front row seats. So it's nice to have like those dimensions very easily accessible. Although of course you could just Google it on your phone, but you know.
I like this because like we have to go pick up a shed for our backyard, and we're going to put it in the Equinox. So I have to go Google it to make sure that it'll fit. But I think it would be, I know I could go to the car with a measuring tape, but I just like that this is here because this is something you would use a lot. And when you want to fit something in your trunk, this is where you go. So it's kind of a no-brainer that it's here. It's cool.
Yeah. All right, let's hop in. So one of the things before I even get in that's a bit controversial just between Liv and I are these seats. I think they're sort of cool. It's sort of a weird thing to have like wool seats, or not that common, but Liv is not a fan.
Wait, are you actually a fan of them? Do you like them?
I think it looks really cool. And, you know, a lot of cars are doing, like even the Mach-E, it has vegan leather because they're trying not to use leather. So it seems like cloth seats are coming more back in style. This is like a really nice cloth seat. And what I really like is like it doesn't get super hot. Like with the sun blazing in on it, it's not going to get hot. So I think that's neat.
That's a really good bonus. Yeah. I mean, I by default want something that's easy to wipe off. And this, I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's easy to wipe off. Maybe we should try it.
No.
No.
No, well, we can ask about that.
Yeah.
Or I'm sure you could Google it, but that's why Liv doesn't like it.
Yeah. Well, it's both because if you guys don't know, I have colorful hair or partially colorful right now. So I'm always scared of lighter things and textures that can't be wiped off. And then also I wear a lot of beauty products. I'm wearing a lot of sunscreen and moisturizer. And so you can see on some of the other textures, like here on the center console, it's sort of a neoprene texture, but you can tell which one of us wears sunscreen and moisturizer most. So I feel like we're probably going to be able to wipe that off relatively easily with this material as he just wipes it in permanently. But the wool, I don't get that impression. I don't know. So
it should be like have stain resistant stuff on it, but
I take that as a challenge.
Yeah. Now we're going to get into some of the software and sound. So like one of the first things I want to sort of demonstrate is like, say I put it in drive. I drive to wherever I want to get. Car is still active. I don't know why it's beeping. Oh, my door is open.
Ah.
Okay, so now I put it in drive. I'm driving to wherever I want to go. I put it in park, take my foot off. There's no on-off button. So like in a lot of EVs that don't have on-off buttons, that's sort of telling you like I'm getting ready to get out of the car. But if I take my seatbelt off, we get those chimes that are just basically like, put your seatbelt back on. And it just is like that slight annoying thing.
Annoying.
Yeah. And it's like, why? Like I know that I'm getting ready to open the car door. So I was doing this thing of like, open the car door, then take my seatbelt off, which is just like the reverse order of what I want to do. The other thing that I think is a little bit odd, and I won't get into it too much, but basically, like you have the air conditioner on, you have the radio on, you open the car door, like in a lot of cars, like when you hit off, the stereo turns off. A lot of other cars, it's like the stereo will stay on until you open the car door. This one will stay on when you open the car door. It'll stay on when you close the car door. So like Liv and I were standing outside the car and I'm like, the stereo is still on. This is just weird. And you can hear the air conditioning on. So I just think that's a bit of an odd thing. It seems like it's like, okay, if you're going to stay on, as soon as I close the door and you can detect that there's nobody seated in the car, maybe turn the stereo off, maybe turn the AC off. So that's just a weird thing. The other thing is just like, it's the noises that the car makes warning you of stuff. We went up to Orange County the other day, and the alerts of it saying like, pay attention to the road. We got some B-roll of that multiple times because it does it a lot. If you yawn, it flashes an alert. If you are not paying attention to the road, or if it thinks that, it's going to give you an alert. And it's so bad that I was getting on one of those Cloverleaf on-ramps to I-5. And as I was looking, as I'm turning this way and I'm looking that way, because that's where the road is going, halfway through the curve, it pops up like, pay attention to the road. I'm like, I am looking at the road.
And it was distracting.
And then on top of all of that, it really gets me because it's a very small font and it's over here. So if you want me to pay attention here, why are you putting a very small font alert over here? It doesn't make any sense. It's frustrating. Our friend Matt that checked out the EX30 the other day, he went and Googled it, and apparently you can turn off the alert sensitivity or turn it down, but you have to do it at every single drive, which just is crazy to me.
And part of this ties into the fact that you are forced into interacting with the screen because you don't have an instrument cluster, but you are supposed to be staring straight ahead. So then when you're being forced to look at the screen and then you're getting chastised by the screen, it's like you have a really mean teacher,
Yeah.
who's like, pay attention to me, stop looking. No, just rude.
And this is the driver monitoring system. So that's what's looking at my eyes and making sure I don't yawn. But overall, there's like a lot, like I love how this thing drives, but first of all, the materials inside, like this is like a cool, like, recycled material or whatever. But some of the other stuff, like the doors, feel a bit cheapish. Again, it's like if it's 36,000, that's all right. If it's 48,000, becomes more of an issue. Same thing with like the buttons on the steering wheel. They feel very, very inexpensive, we'll say. And there's like trying to get a pause button. Did I get it pause or did I turn the volume up? Like there is no pause. There's like volume up, volume down, track, next, and a voice button, but there's no like pause. And then that sort of ties in and we could jump into this, but you'll notice here, by the way, like there's like Prime Video. If I go into the apps, like I've installed YouTube, so you can actually watch videos here in the car, which is really cool that it's like you're integrating some of those things because it's Android Automotive or Google built in, however you want to market it. So it's cool that it has some of that. But then like just some of the other things, it's like the interface is so bad. Let me demonstrate, or what I'm talking about is the interface is so bad. So if I want to turn one pedal mode on or off, and Liv and I like switch back and forth. So if I want to do that, oh, there it is. There's a quick button there. Quick control.
It's still the Equinox's one. It's just on the screen.
It's just on the screen. But other driver settings, for example, and this is the one that gets me, it's like, so I tap 1, that's 2, then I want to go to driving, then I want to scroll here, that's where I thought the one pedal was, but that's not it. But if I want to go to performance...
It is, but there are two.
Yeah, there's performance all-wheel drive, which I was like, cool, we're going to go have some fun with the car. That's a lot of settings to go do that. Something that I might want to turn on like while I'm driving. There's sort of no way I can do that because it's going to yell at me to pay attention. And then you'll notice here in the small fine print, it says prioritizes performance, but it also disables one pedal drive, but one pedal drive is on. So like just user interface wise, if it's going to disable it,
it should turn on.
It should gray that out. Yeah. So it's just little things like that were really just bugging me overall. Same thing if I want to go into like the AC. So like it's all very touch oriented, but then it's like, okay, there's my AC controls or HVAC controls, but wait, oh no, I want to hit the fan. So then there's the fan, and then it's a bunch of things. And as you can see, these things are like popping up, and it's like, well, where, how am I supposed to read and do all of this when I am driving?
Aesthetically, I really like this cabin, even though it has a front and back cup holder. If you don't know, my favorites would be side by side, but of course it is a small vehicle. You see the kind of muted green hints, which I love. And I'm wondering, like, I guess because that's the coloring of the interior, and then there's the light blue interior, and this is probably blue. But I like that you can adjust if you're getting that, Patrick.
There we go.
Did you get that?
Nope.
So you can adjust and hide your cup holders or bring them all the way out. And I love that slow open. I think you got to go all the way in. It would be cool if you could bring it. Oh, there. Okay. So I think that's a really fun feature. That's really, really fun. Either way, you have a ton of legroom, which is really, really awesome. You really do. You have your wireless charger on the driver's side. I do find it a little bit odd. I don't know why. I just don't feel like my phone is fully in there. But every time it is, it just looks like it's going to flop over it. But it's fine. It's
because the car is so quick. It feels like you could
it could flop over.
But it's been pretty rock steady. I have the same feeling.
And then we have the that it's actually sort of a yellow, a muted pastel yellow. And obviously this is where we're throwing a bunch of stuff. You have your charging cables that can come through this hole right here if you do it properly, which we didn't, but it's fine. But it does look really, really neat and nice. And it's cool to have extra storage spaces. But I will tell you, I want more beverage space. So like the door side, as Patrick dips over, there's no actual like recess for a beverage. You know how often there's like an indent for your beverage to sit, like you can have a soda bottle or something. We had that exact situation where I had my water here and I wanted a soda there, and I didn't have anywhere to put it. Patrick and I have acknowledged that this is perhaps an American problem, and we want all the beverages all the time. So you have to let us know. Do you want multiple beverages, like us? Well,
And it's just because I can't get it out of my view. Like, what do you think about the door handles? I think they're so cool. And it is metal. It isn't like cheap plastic. But what did you call it?
I think it looks like an embedded scissors. So here's the handle and snip snip, and then you just open it like that, and you can imagine that the scissors is on the other side. But while you're looking at this, we mentioned this a sec while we were driving, but the vents, I think you can see that's not a huge amount of movement. So I already have decided I have a vent preference and it's horizontal.
Yes, yeah.
I know there's lots of other vehicles that have this kind of vent system. I love that they're still manual. That's really, really cool. As we sort of make Patrick pan back. Now, here's something, it's controversial, and in my opinion, it's awful, that you have to press a button to open the glove box. I like if we can keep anything manual and just
a button, a simple button.
Just a button. Even if like this press to open the to hide or open the console is so nice. Why can't we have that there? Why can't, well, I guess maybe you could hit it by mistake. I don't know. But that really, really bugs me. I just don't like that. And that's also not a lot of room. So like when I had that soda the other day and I had water, I was like, where do I put it? Because previously in a vehicle, I've jammed my beverage in the glove box, but this is kind of small. I guess I could have hidden it in there, but
it's relatively small.
It's relatively small. Obviously, more controversial stuff. Both the front and back of the vehicle, the window opening is on the center console. Also, the locking of the vehicle. If you want to switch to the rear windows, you press that rear. It's switched now, and then now we switch back to the front.
No power electronics or buttons in the doors, even though, like, of course, they're running, electronics there to lock and unlock, as well as for the mirrors as well, which, by the way, I love the frameless mirrors that Volvo and Polestar does. And then, of course, the other thing we're going to just mention real quick, even though it's dirty, is this very large glass roof. It's been really nice, mostly because we like to film with that. But it does seem to let a lot of heat through. Compared to other EVs, it's about the same. Compared to the Mach-E has really good IRR, I believe.
It really does seem to. Yeah, I miss the ability to have like some sort of cover. It's a bit Spartan, okay? Like it's a little bit of a Spartan interior, which feels like less of a design choice and more of a cost-saving choice, which, as we potentially mentioned before in this, feels like a hard pill to swallow when it's $48,000.
Space-wise in the front, what do you think?
Tons of room.
Yeah, I think it's fairly good.
Excellent. Yeah. Seats bolstering, by the way, I think you can see there's awesome bolstering. This is a playful, fun drive, and someone might have had a lot of fun with it. I guess I had fun with it too.
A little bit.
But there's more than enough bolstering to keep you really, really comfortable. It's so spacious, except in the rear. We should hop in the back.
Yeah, I was like, do you want to hop in the back?
I'll do it.
No.
No, I'll do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And I was joking because it is very hard for Liv to fit her prosthesis in the back. Her leg does not bend as well. So this is going to be interesting.
I don't even know if I can fit behind me. I'm going to try. So I did it. I sat in the back the other day and, I got to like wedge it. That is not a comfortable...
Do you want to just grab the camera and show that?
Sure. That's not a comfortable position for a prosthesis. Am I showing you guys? So, I guess this is normal. This is what you do when you're in a vehicle with not that much room, is you jam your feet underneath it. I don't know if you can tell, but this puts a lot of strain on your limb in a prosthesis, so that's super uncomfortable. So here, I'll give you the camera back, Patrick. Oh, and sorry, let me show you some cool things quickly. USB-C, we have 2 in the rear and 2 in the front. They were in that bottom section. You have this interesting storage space for your phone. So like, let's say you're charging and then you pop your phone in there. And then this cubby down here pulls out. And then remember we said the frunk, there was this little picture somewhere hidden. I think that's a cool Easter egg that it's the same.
See that the other day.
Oh yeah, I was playing around in the back because I was in the back. That's the cool thing about him, actually getting in the back of the vehicle. And then design language wise, as I break stuff, that kind of pastel yellow carries through to the rear pockets, which you didn't know either, huh? It's cool.
Did you notice the little Swedish flag?
I did.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, because I've been looking. Wait, what's that? Oh, that's the wool thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and here, let me give you.
And we'll spin slowly so you guys don't get.
We'll spin slowly. So, if I was gonna spend any amount of time in here, I would sit like that.
With legs.
With my leg on the other side. That's my way of getting leg room. It's probably not the safest thing to do, but if you are a short person, or even like 5'8", you'd probably be fine. I feel like tall people might have a hard time.
Yeah, and what I would say is like the space is basically as you would expect on a car this size.
Yeah.
So even though we're saying there's not much room back there, it's what you would expect. It is, like I wouldn't expect it to be as roomy as the Equinox.
No, absolutely not. Yeah. You know, if you're gonna have a lot of full-size adults back here, make sure they're comfortable. If you are mostly gonna have kids and teenagers, they will probably be fine. And this is a really small car with a lot of smart space. So it's actually pretty good back here.
Yeah, overall, not a bad interior. I think the wool, I think this is where I like the wool, is like looking at it like this with all the wool around. It just feels like a cozy place versus some of the, vegan leather, as we called it, pleather.
Pleather, yeah. And I think you'll notice there is no bolstering really. There's a little bit of bolstering, but it's not much. So if your driver is having a lot of fun, you're not going to get held in that well.
and I thought the seats were a bit firm for my taste.
I don't mind them.
But they're not like hard. They're just a little bit firm. And then, yeah, just overall, I think that's a pretty good overview of the interior. As I cut your head off, sorry.
Oh, I do have one thing, by the way. It was a hot day when I was back here. There are no vents back here.
Oh, that's huge. We should have mentioned that.
Yeah, this is, you're getting our real thoughts as we roll. There are no vents back here. There's no vent in the center. There's no vent on the side. And it was really hard to get airflow back. So Patrick actually had to put it on max airflow and then direct the left driver vent at me. And that's how I got some air. But
that's like it was when I was growing up back in my day.
Oh, sure.
And it snowed both ways.
And then if you were growing up, then you'd be sitting in the middle, right? With your arms on either side of the seat.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I my biggest complaints really are about the software. And then some of these, areas down here, like it's basically this. Feels a little bit plasticky, but otherwise it's like it's sort of cool. I don't even necessarily mind the rear windows being on a same buttons, but it's overall it's not bad. I do worry because like Liv has touched things that we're gonna have to try to clean that, but otherwise, I think that's pretty good. Let me do a flippity flip.
Yeah, I was like, this is an interesting way to end the video, actually.
Oh, do you want to?
Yeah, let's do our final thoughts back here.
I think you might be blurry though, like because of the
well, come, I'll do like.
There we go.
Hey.
We're not there yet.
We're not.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, if you want, actually, we should do a driving segment.
Okay, let's do it.
I don't know. This seems like the Bolt that you wanted, but it just has a Volvo badge.
Yeah, however, this is like all power. There's no way that the Bolt would have felt like this. I don't think. Like, this is a lot of power, and I feel like I'm in a tiny little go-kart.
It does have a lot of power. This is the Bolt I would have wanted with the power, but
yeah.
It's not a Bolt.
It's not a bolt. And I know we've said it before, but we had a reservation for this. We had a reservation for the single motor. And being in this right now, I'm like, I could have had this without question. This is so fun. It's so comfortable to drive. It sucks that there's no way to like adjust the pedal feel or the accelerator feel like the Equinox EV, but it just feels so good by default. If you don't know, I am a left leg driver. I'm a right leg amputee, so I drive with my left leg crossed over my right. There's a ton of room here. There's a ton of room in the cabin. I'm very, very comfortable driving. Patrick's gonna get
I
some
forget.
documentation of that. The center console is really nice and open, so I have a ton of room and I can really stretch my knee out. If you're someone who wants a lot of space, this is really nice. Even though it's a small car, the driver area is very nice and spacious. Were you gonna say something?
Well, I just because we saw it at the San Diego Auto Show, I think for the first time, and we were like, "Ooh, it's a bit tight and compact."
Yeah.
And we were like, "I don't think you could drive it," but you've been very comfortable.
I have, and I was really surprised, to be honest. Like, I was ready to be let down, but it has been extremely comfortable. Tons of room, great pedal feel. Now, the way that you adjust the seat is cool. It's just a little joystick, which ergonomically is great. But the problem is that in order to get and access all the complex controls, you have to press the button in the middle, and then it like changes between three different controls. So there's like it lets you do the basic seat adjustment, the tilt seat adjustment, and then the lumbar all separately.
Is there a lumbar? I was looking for that.
Oh yeah, you got to press it in the middle. So once you get your seat and everything set up, you're pointing. Hopefully people can see.
No, I was just like, mine only has two. I'll show
Oh,
you.
so the driver has more.
Yeah, I didn't think the driver had additional. Maybe I'm just wrong.
Well, I think there's three.
There's that.
Basic, then there's
that.
tilt, and then there's lumbar. Oh, you
Basic.
don't get lumbar. So the passenger doesn't get lumbar. And I am like in a way different seating position to Patrick, which is who was sitting here when we set up the camera. So hopefully this is all nice and good. But yeah, so once you get that all set up, the ability to have the tilt function really, really helps, especially for me. We've heard from people who have really long legs, you need to be able to tilt the seat so you can get really comfortable. So I'm honestly really surprised by how comfortable this feels. And really the weirdest thing about the cabin is probably the Squircle steering wheel, which is the closest thing I've driven to a yoke, really.
That and no driver's instrument cluster.
Yeah.
But
when we're coming to like the way that you interact with it, I have to cough. So the elephant in the room, the lack of an instrument cluster, we really weren't sure of how we'd feel about it. Though we were definitely, I'd say, both feeling not too positive about it. But I'm going to say right away, Patrick and I have different experiences because I mostly drive on around town. He mostly drives on the highway, drives along the highway. Really good suspension, by the way. We just went over a railroad track. But so right now I'm navigating, and both our Mach-E and our Equinox EV, we have an instrument cluster where you can see the navigation in some way or another, where you can see your speed in some way or another. And it really, really bugs me that I have to look over. It really bugs me a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we get to my driving impressions, that's my biggest thing. So.
But you have a different way that it impacts you, I think, and we'll get to that. I love, yeah, there's that too. But I love having my navigation in front of me. I love never having to look at to look away from the road. Even if there was a heads-up display with your speed and your navigation, that would make all the difference in the world. But no, we have to look over to that screen, and part of it is that I'm not used to it. So I'm like not automatically looking to the part that I should be looking to. But another part is just that is away from where you want to be looking. That is far away from the road. And when you have an instrument cluster, you have everything you need. So I wasn't sure how annoying I would find this, and it's really annoying. It's like really, really annoying. And if this was a super budget vehicle and we were getting a steal for it, that is maybe something I'd be okay with, but this is $48,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like Slate is not going to have a lot of stuff in it, but it's like 20,000 less.
20,000 less. And won't they have they'll have the speed
They are
at
going to have
least.
instrument cluster. They're
Yeah.
just not going to have this screen. So
Right. You'll have your phone or your tablet, but like $20,000 less. And that, like, that's when you know you're making a compromise. But I don't feel like this vehicle should be a compromise. In every other way, it is so fun to drive. The steering feels excellent. I think you can choose between 3 steering modes, right?
yeah, they're basically 3 levels, whatever they
Are
name
we in
them.
sport right now or something?
Well, this goes
Uh,
back to the
oh, yeah. How many buttons do you have to
one.
press?
And then if navigation is actually giving us instructions, I can't see
Yeah, I just ignored the navigation and
driving. So
canceled
that's
route.
3. And then
Steering.
driving dynamics, I have to scroll,
Steering feel firm,
and it's steering wheel firm.
which I like the most personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
There's a lot of screen dependence, and there's a lot of like layers and levels that you have to go through to get anything done, which is frustrating. Yeah, it's like that's the biggest thing. Other than that, this is so fun. Oh, I will say, these don't feel like enough. Are you gonna B-roll it?
yeah.
Um, the vents. It's quite a warm day right now. See, I don't even know where. Oh, there's the temperature, 82. So the vents, I just prefer horizontal because you just don't get much movement here.
When I want to tilt it this way, like I guess that's enough, but
It's not enough.
it's not.
I do love that there's something manual though, because if you want to do anything else, it's all in the screen. So, other than that though, I love this car. It's so much fun. I truly, truly enjoy driving it. This in single motor, slap an instrument cluster on it, it'd be the best thing out there. In this color, for sure.
For me, this is sort of like the hot hatch EV that I've always wanted somebody to make. Um, it drives really well. It's a lot of fun. Recently, we just had the Ioniq 5N, which is a lot of fun. But it's different than our Mustang Mach-E GT, which is a lot of fun. And this is different in a different way as well. And I really like the feel of driving this. It's we went on some curvy roads, but you could just floor it. The 422 horsepower, the 400 pound-feet of torque is enough to have a lot of fun. It's like 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds, which is faster than our Mach-E, not the newer Mach-E's, but faster than or quicker than ours. But it all feels about the same. But there's just a lot of fun.
It feels different because it's smaller, and because it's smaller, it just feels like, a tiny little parcel of power, I think.
Yeah, the turning radius is really
Yeah.
good. It's like it does a lot of things really well. And for basically a standard suspension, it does great. So it's like I was just sort of saying, it's like we had that Ioniq 5N. I'm like, this is more fun. The Ioniq 5N is more track fun, but this zipping around has been just a blast to drive. Still has a lot of get up and go, like when we were on the freeway and needing to pass somebody. So it's been one of my favorite EVs to drive,
Woo.
just because
Mhm.
it's so easy to zip around. We'll get into some of the software stuff, but driving wise, I do very much miss having the driver's screen. And it's like this, it's not that bad because I don't really need a ton of information. And I know there's other cars like Tesla that has, just a center screen as well. I just want something here, or at least a heads up display. And when it really bothered me, like when we were going on our little jaunt down a twisty, curvy road, I just want to be able to glance down very quickly. And I know it, everybody's like, yeah, that's such a slight difference really in your eye. And I'm like, it feels huge to me. So I really that's like the biggest negative as far as the driving experience, for the driving dynamics. And because even though that's part software, the feedback to me, it can be a little bit critical, and especially if I'm like doing something and I also need the turn-by-turn navigation. So I think we both, like, that was like one of our things. I wasn't really sure, but I'm like, nope, just give me an instrument cluster, and like Liv said, it's if you are charging 36,000, that's one thing, but if you're charging 48,000, that's another thing.
Yeah, it's really bad. And sure, I know you could have a horizontal screen and then maybe more information would be over there, like closer to the driver. But I like having a vertical screen and having more of the map like vertical because
Yeah.
you drive vertically, right? Like,
Well, in
um,
our Equinox, it's a very narrow but wide screen.
but then you have a huge instrument cluster with
Yeah.
your map and your navigation. So this is worse than I thought it would be, the lack of an instrument cluster. Um,
And I am not a fan, like I don't mind a flat bottom steering wheel, but just the
the
whole
squircle.
the squircle, I really like. I think steering wheels are such a great, perfect design, so that when you're letting the steering wheel like spin back after doing a sharp turn, it just goes through your hand a lot easier. So I, I know this is sort of the new trend, and I'm was sort of saying the other day, I'm like, I can't wait. Maybe 10 years from now, we'll pass this phase and we'll get back to just having steering wheels. But I don't know. Otherwise, like it's been really great. My only other thing, and they can't really see it right now, is the reflection from Harman Kardon.
Oh yeah, we'll show you. But are you navigating right now?
I am navigating, but
Were you...
I was just going to go past.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool. Because
you
I
went
was like,
past, and I was
it's
going to go
I
past.
went past, yeah.
I mean, I can.
We could go like we're actually like taking you along for some errands. But then like maybe go for some different roads.
I'm just going to go. I'm just going to turn right. Well, we're navigating and just sort of having fun with it, but
Woo!
the one thing about this is like, yeah, it's fun on the twisty, curvy, fun roads, but even just zipping around like that, and it is very easy to break the tires loose. So if you want to talk about EVs burning through some tires, you can definitely do it with this because it's really quick to spin the front tires specifically. So one of the things about the driving dynamics is, not necessarily about suspension or steering or anything like that, but it's the blinkers on this. And it's one of the systems where, of course, you do a slight tap and it'll turn the blinker on for like 3 blinks as I'm doing a lane change. But if you push it a little bit further, the blinker stays on until you make like a right turn or a left turn, an actual turn. And so, but what happens is the blinker returns back to its normal position immediately. So then, if I just change lanes and it's doing the complete turn signal thing, to get it to turn off, I got to tap it in the other direction. Long story short, it's a bit finicky sometimes as far as like trying to get it just enough to do the lane change blinker, but not too much to do the full turn blinker. So it's not explaining that well, but it's sort of like, it's just a little bit of a like annoyance, not that big of a deal, but something that like has gotten to me a couple of times. So, and we're just zip it, make it through this light.
So there are two things that you've mentioned that I would like to add to.
Okay.
So the one is that it's fun to drive, and it is, but it's also really useful. So like the Ioniq 5N was fun to drive, and the whole point of it.
I just want to show this U-turn.
Oh,
Look at that.
Insane turning radius and like really nimble. So I will finish my first thought, but the second thing was the bolstering is really good. So it's fun to drive, it encourages you to be playful, and the bolstering is excellent. So stuff like Patrick taking a tight U-turn, you know, quite quickly, I'm bolstered well enough. It's really, really comfortable. I did sit in the back. By the way, there is no legroom as expected, but there's no bolstering in the back. And you get flung around quite a bit because it's a fun car. But it's also very livable. So like one of the things I love about this, and let's reference the Hyundai Ioniq 5 again, the N, It's not necessarily meant to be a super livable car. Like the N, like the changes to make it an N, it's their, sort of track performance version, make it a little less livable. The bucket
It's
seats
not
and
as
things
great
like
as a
that.
daily driver. This would be a nice
This is an
daily driver.
amazing daily driver. It has the bolstering to make it fun and playful, and it has all the power, but it's also like a really excellent everyday car.
The seats are a bit firm that I'm finding, and actually I need to try that.
I put lumbar on. If you didn't change it, I
Oh,
put some
there's the
lumbar.
lumbar.
Yeah, I added some to get a little cushioning.
Yeah, and I was going to do it, but I was trying to look at the turn, and now it already disappeared. So
Yeah.
that's
That's the bummer of like
the
not having a
software.
dedicated button on the seat.
Yeah,
So there's all these like cost saving initiatives in the vehicle, space saving, I don't know, that actually make it a little bit hard to use, which are frustrating, I think,
yeah.
a little.
But just going back to the basic premise, this is one of the most fun EVs uh, that we've driven recently. Sporty performance wise, and because it's like it's not crazy 600 plus horsepower like the 5N, but it is enough fun that I can just blast through like intersections,
Amazing handling.
little curvy roads. It's just been a lot of fun to drive, and the turning radius makes it just it's been great. So if you're looking for that hot hatch, this feels like the hot hatch EV that I've been saying, like, please somebody build.
If anyone doesn't know what hot hatch is,
And it's just little sporty, small hatchback that's like gives you performance, but it's not it's not a Corvette, but it's something that's at least a little functional. You can put a couple people in the back. You can get away for the weekend with some luggage.
more than enough space in the trunk.
Yeah,
Really, the only compromise is the instrument cluster. It's a really big compromise, though. It really bugs me. But everything else about this is so awesome. Ergonomically, it's great. It's a pleasure to drive. It's hard. It's hard to hammer in the bad stuff with the lack of instrument cluster, but I think it's in part because I like it so much. Like
yeah,
I just wish it had it so much, and like this could be ours.
exactly. So I did want to do a little segment at least on the freeway, and basically just because then that way I can sort of like just talk a little bit about the driver's assistance features. Overall, it's okay. It
Mhm.
does have some things that just bug me. Uh, First of all, it's like I can turn it on and off, of course, with the steering wheel after making my settings over here. But like to confirm that things are on and see what speed I'm set, I'm looking over here, which seems a little weird. Now, the other thing that bugged me the other day when we drove up to Orange County using the ADAS is like we're coming to this curve here, and it seems like it's sort of like a little delayed at it. Oops, sorry, keep hands on steering wheel. I get, but it's like you see that we're like drifted over to the left as we turned right. Now we're going to make this left turn, and you'll notice that it seems like what it's going to do is like it's going to be a little bit delayed. This guy is sort of cutting the corner in a little bit. Oh no, we did pretty good centered there. But what I think is sort of funny is it'll show us drifting in the lane here, like we're drifted over to the right there. It's showing that we're drifting over to the right. And I'm like, if you know that we're drifting to the right, put me back in the center. So I like it just seems a little weird and odd, and I'm actually going to take it off now. It handled traffic very well the other day, so that was great. But right now, I need to try to exit, and it came up on me really quick. But
Mhm.
luckily, it's a little car able to squeeze in.
And it's very bright, so everyone can see
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
They're not going to be like, didn't see them.
And there's a Hummer EV behind us trying to do the same thing that I did.
Big honker.
um, but yeah, so overall, it's like it's an okay ADAS system. Yes, it is hands-on. Slap me on the wrist for not keeping my hands on for a second. But you see that also illustrates that it'll let you know like, hey, put your hands back on. Um, so yeah, it does okay. It's not the best that I've seen. It seems like it drifts and wobbles in the lane a little bit, as you could sort of see there. We're not going to do a whole long segment on it. all of the systems do a fairly good job on stuff like just a freeway. It handled stop and go traffic pretty good. We didn't have a lot of traffic, fortunately, but yeah, just something just to be aware of. It does seem to drift into lane more than I'm used to, but overall, I'm glad that it has it. It does do eye tracking to make sure you're paying attention, which is one of my other annoyances that we'll talk about in the other segment, or we have already talked about in the other segment, depending on
We'll
how we
figure
edit
out our
this.
order.
Anyways, I keep trying to remember we don't always film these in order, but anyways, that's a whole nother issue.
So as you expected, if you watched this whole video, you knew that we were going to be in right this position to give you our final thoughts about the 2025 Volvo EX30 in moss yellow.
Actually, we just use time travel to go back in time and put the driving segment in. So
Yes.
that's how it all happened. But yeah, let's just wrap it up at our final thoughts. I think Liv started this off by saying, like, we did have a reservation on one of these, and we're using that as past tense because we wanted the single motor. We're like, we don't need all the power that the dual motor has. And they basically said, well, the dual motor's available now. We're like, cool, we'll just wait. And they said, nope.
No.
Either you take the dual motor or you were going to give you your money back. So,
and I still have to go get my money back because they were like, you have to go to your local Volvo dealership and
it's a little annoying. But I've heard others have done that same type of thing.
And by the way, honestly, we wanted the single motor because I don't personally think that we have to have that much power, especially in a second vehicle. And also the price. Like, a lot of what was really delightfully tantalizing about this EX30 is that it was going to be an affordable vehicle. But once you make it a dual motor, add a couple things, and $48,000 to me is not a super affordable vehicle anymore.
Yeah, we've always been interested, like, in a Chevy Bolt, but I sort of saw the Volvo EX30. I was like, it's going to be like a Bolt but cool, and I love the Volvo styling, so to be like a little bit upgraded from a Bolt or whatever. Now that we've seen it, first of all, it's like 48,000 is way more than what a Bolt was costing. The materials aren't that much upgraded. You lose like a driver's screen. And yes, it's a lot more powerful, but we don't want that. So all of that, it's an interesting proposition. I still think it's very cool. Like, for 48,000, as quick as it is, my biggest letdown, and I've seen multiple other stories talk about software, and I want to talk about that because, like, people have talked about the ID4 and the software is not great in that. And I drove it and I'm like, yeah, it's a little quirky and a little few things you have to get used to, but it's not horrible. This one I won't say is horrible, but it has just a few things that I think would really bug me. And I hear that can be some updates. It has some really cool things too. So it's like, it's built off Android Automotive, which our Equinox has.
Yes. Oh, so that aspect we are pretty used to, but you can use CarPlay, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, what? Because then we can't use Android Auto. So it's like, yeah, you can use CarPlay along with a lot of people. But real bummer that you can't use Android Auto. So I kind of feel excluded. I wouldn't have minded. I mean, I guess it's Android Auto. So you're like, that's what your phone has. But
yeah, there's a lot of people that don't understand why, like, somebody like us that have Android everywhere, why we do want to use Android Auto in a car that has Android Automotive built in. And it's just a simple fact that the way that, like, messaging is built in, and the fact that, like, your music is like, I can listen to something in the house and then I connect and it just resumes playing from that exact same point. If I get messages, it like pops up in my Android Auto. So there's things like that. And the fact that, like, with this, as well as like the Equinox, like when we swap back and forth, we have times like in the Equinox where it's in Liv's profile, but my phone will connect with the Bluetooth. So we get a text message and she's like, why is so-and-so texting me? I'm like, no, they're texting me, but it's your profile, but it's messaging my phone. And it's just, I like the integration that Android Auto provides. So.
And the Equinox, if you didn't follow our story with getting the Equinox EV, I'll give you a little spoiler, but you can follow it. We'll put links to it over there. The biggest driver was the price, right? So that means we were willing to compromise. So I thought at the time, I was like, not being able to use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, that's the compromise with the Equinox. it has become no biggie whatsoever. With the Volvo EX30, the compromise is the lack of instrument cluster to me. Not being able to use Android Auto is fine. The lack of an instrument cluster is really bad because you're not getting the price compromise. Like the Equinox EV was the most affordable EV that we could possibly lease and has the most range. So this is like expensive and has a compromise that's a real bummer.
The Android Automotive implementation in the Equinox is way better than this. Even though you can't use CarPlay, it does the things like you can put like your camera button and closer. You can put like whatever music app you want. It allows you to very quickly get to those things. Turn one pedal mode on and off very quickly. So it's like that type of easy customization where you don't have to dive into menus is really nice. So the good thing is they can fix this stuff in software. The bad news is like there's no obligation for them to fix any of this stuff. I've heard that there's a fix for some of the driver attention warnings that is coming out or is rolling out or whatever. If you know, please let us know in the comments. But overall, fun car, great size, a bit too high price now, and software is meh.
And I have to say, I far prefer driving this to the Equinox EV. As I've mentioned, I'm an amputee. I drive with my left leg. It is not a given that I'm going to be able to drive a vehicle or that I'm going to be comfortable, that I'm going to feel confident. Immediately when I started driving this, it was,
yep.
Obviously this is a car for me. It is a delight to drive. I love this car. I honestly, like everything bad that I've said about it, I have to say, the instrument cluster stuff, just so you know, but I also love it. I love this. It is so cute. It is the perfect size. It is the absolute perfect size for like two adults who typically drive solo and sometimes have someone in the back but mostly carry stuff, right? It is so nimble and fun. It's so powerful. It's an absolute treat and joy to drive. It has the responsiveness that you want, but it's not super touchy. It is just so good.
Yeah.
It is such a good car to drive, and it doesn't have an instrument cluster, and that makes me so mad.
Yeah, it's very close. Like,
but there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, if we didn't have the Equinox, I mean, I don't know.
The cost, like if you're not thinking about price, then
yeah.
But
if you do want the quickest Volvo ever made,
oh yeah,
it's pretty. So yeah, all things considered, it's great with some caveats. Or really good. We'll say really good.
I think it's amazing with some caveats.
And I love the color.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's something that everybody talks about or not everybody, but a lot of people want more bright colors or different colors from manufacturers. I love this color. I'm really curious what you guys like. Do you like the brighter colors or do you like the muted whites, grays, silvers? So
I would have flipped a table if we hadn't gotten this color for sure. I don't know about you guys, but when I heard about the EX30 when it very first was announced and saw this color, I was like, well, that's the one. Yeah. I don't care what other colors there are. But I know you saw it in white. I didn't get to see it in white the other day.
It was just a photo. By the way, it is moss yellow. And I do want to point out, like a lot of the photos of it, I think it comes off yellow, but in person with your eye, you can see the hints of green in it. Like
a lime yellow.
Yeah, it has it's very, very, very light green and a ton of yellow. So
yeah.
Anyways,
that was our time with the 2025 Volvo EX30 Dual Motor. Are there any other words that I'm missing? Moss yellow.
Moss yellow. 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds.
Which you will never get over because it's so good. Please do let us know your thoughts down below. Do you love the color? Do you like the price? What do you feel about the instrument cluster? Really want to crowdsource all of this because this is a car I'm so conflicted about and I really, really love it. And also, grr. A huge thank you to our patrons whose names are scrolling across the screen right now. We appreciate you guys so very, very much and your support of us and this channel as well as you, our YouTube members too. As we said earlier, both our patrons and our YouTube members, we literally received the EX30, filmed our first impressions with it, and released it the next day for them. That's something that we want to start doing more. I didn't even consult Patrick when I proposed this idea.
She just told me, bring the camera.
Yeah, pretty much. But like, I really wanted to be able to give that opportunity for you guys to get our raw impression. And also, like, you're probably only seeing this video weeks or months ahead. I still have to write an article for girlsguidetocars.com. I will put that down below. So if you join our Patreon and our YouTube members, then you may get behind the scenes stuff, our first impressions, whatever, hot off the presses right when it happens, which is like, honestly, kind of a big hot mess. So if you're down for that, then join. And either way, thank you guys so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and
we're gonna go have deviled eggs.
We're gonna go have deviled eggs.
Long story, but whatever.
Do you like deviled eggs? If so, leave a devil.
We'll have marshmallow
deviled eggs. Oh, we should definitely feed this guy. Anyways, on that note, just remember that whatever you drive, whether it is moss yellow or, you know, white, black, gray, whatever.
With a little paprika on top.
Oh my God, you're definitely hungry. Enjoy the ride. Bye. Bye.